everyone, we are live on Facebook. Okay, but we'll just start in another 10 seconds. Hi everyone, welcome to all of you who are watching this interaction where kids, young kids are meeting some distinguished authors, some prominent authors. I'm pleased to be taking and hosting this particular event where little kids are going to be asking the beautiful questions to the people they've always looked up to. Purposeful learning is all about taking care of a child's mind, body, heart, and soul holistically. And we all have at different times felt that our education system needs to grow the kids a little more uniquely, holistically. We at the Hush Tree are driven by passion to develop the essential right habits in children in their formative years. One such habit, which is extremely important and very important to be developed early in a child, is the habit of reading. I think needless to say, everyone understands the importance of it. But somewhere down the line, with the essential steps that need to be taken to develop it as a habit in us or the kids around, we kind of miss a bit on that. So today, through this event, we are making our little kids meet some amazing authors, wherein kids can ask their questions related to reading, writing, different kinds of books to these people. Today we have with us Shivi and Anulal, who are the authors of some prominent books, and they are going to be discussing. I will let the kids only introduce both of them. And the questions, the kids will be taking their questions to both of them. So welcome Shivi Goyal and Anulal to this event.
Hello everyone, namaste. Thank you so much. Thank you Khushbu, thank you Hush Tree. I would first of all just wish each and all a lot of love and light and happy Children's Day to all the lovely kids, and I'm super excited to speak to you all. Thank you, Khushbu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting us. It's wonderful to be here.
Kids, I think you're pretty excited. You can show all your greetings and everything to the two authors. You can welcome them. Show your excitement, the one which you had been containing within yourself for long.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
We are very excited to ask our questions.
I am also excited. I've actually never talked to an author, and this is my first time, and I'm so excited, literally.
Me too.
Wow, that's great. That's great. And so today will be, you guys will be talking to two authors, not even one, with me and Mr. Lal with us, right? So let's start and shoot whatever questions you have for both of us.
So we will have Ishana and Kanika who will kickstart this event and invite both the authors. So Ishana, we will start with you, okay? So I'm just putting you in the spotlight.
Hello, ma'am, and hello, sir.
Hi, darling.
Hi, Ishana.
Now I am going to invite our guests today. Shivi, ma'am, and Anu, sir. Welcome to the Hush Tree.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It is our pleasure to have you are with us today. We are very excited and to integrate you with today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ishana.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Even we both
Thank
are
you.
excited, and I can see,
Indeed.
yeah, seriously, I mean, so, and we are happy. I mean, we're actually privileged. Thank you, Beta. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi, Kanika.
Shivi ma'am is an author of blockbuster books like Birds Unsaid and Love vs. Wit. She is the winner of many several author awards. Anu sir is an author and educator. His works include The Mythology of Love, Life After Fruits, and upcoming non-fiction books, novels, and e-book series, The Southern Chronicles. Welcome, sir and ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you so much.
So our first set of questions will be taken by Anya and Athar. I'm just going to add them to the spotlight when we will ask them. Anya, please start with your question.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. I am Anya from class 5, and my question is, in a reading campaign, we have learnt about 3 books: fiction, non-fiction, and information. So, in which type do you write your books?
Mr. Lal, you would like to take it, and then I'll take it. Yeah,
Yeah,
first. Please go
sure.
ahead.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I usually write fiction, and I have written only one non-fiction. So my future plan is to obviously try some non-fiction, but my focus will be on fiction. So I write mostly stories and novels.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a fiction writer. Yeah.
that's
Okay, so coming to me, darling, Anya, right? So Anya, if I talk about me, I started my writing career from poetry, all right? So poetry is something which doesn't fall into fiction, which doesn't fall into non-fiction, which doesn't fall into information. So poetry is a different genre altogether, beta. But I intend to write more of non-fiction in future. And non-fiction, like my third book, which is released last week when I said yes to meet you all people, it is a self-help development non-fiction book. So, so that's my thing.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am, for answering
Thank you.
my question.
Hello, ma'am and sir. My name is Athar and I study in class 9th. And my question is, I love to read fiction books. So can you please suggest one fiction and one non-fiction book that we should read?
Okay. Mr. Lal,
Shiviji.
please. Okay, should I go? All right.
Yeah.
So, Athar, you're asking to suggest one fiction and one non-fiction, correct?
Non-fiction. Yes.
And you're in class 9th.
Yes.
Okay. Before me answering this, can I quickly ask you what is your favorite topics to read? Whatever you read currently?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Okay, so Harry Potter is like an epitome of fiction. So it's another level altogether. J.K. Rowling has done wonderful job. So as I don't write fiction, I would go with non-fiction. So right,
Sure.
non-fiction. If you want to really, read more of travelogues and more of what is going in the world around, to get a lot of information plus stories plus motivation, you should go to you should read to Namita Gokhale ma'am and Namita Das ma'am. I think they are wonderful. Then to more towards motivational and healing your life, you should read Jay Shetty. He's a known podcaster and a YouTuber. Like he likes mediocre with the kids. So I'm not recommending any, like the books which I read and all, like Shashi Tharoor sir and all. So I think that I would recommend. Over to you, sir, Mr. Lal, for fiction.
Yeah. From my side, I'd like to suggest a wonderful fiction book, a wonderful story titled The Alchemist. I don't know if you have read it already.
I've
Must have
read
read
it.
it. Oh, you have read it. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you read? Let me suggest another. Have you read the book called the Jonathan Livingston Seagull?
No.
Yes, that's
That's
something
nice.
that you can try. Okay,
Okay.
it's a very
I
short
will
book,
definitely
just
read.
50 pages. That's all. Jonathan Livingston Seagull, written by Richard Bach. Okay, you read it and let
Thank
me
you,
know how
ma'am
you
and
like
sir.
it. Yeah,
I will definitely read the books.
sure,
Sure.
sure.
Amazing. I think the two kids had some amazing questions, and we are definitely going to take the name of the book from Mr. Anu and then share it with all the kids. I'm sure they're going to be very happy and excited about reading the book. All right, the next set of two little kids with their questions to both the authors are Pearl and Vidit. Pearl, you can ask your question, and your question will be for Shivi ma'am, and Vidit, your question will be to Anu sir. And Shivi and Anu, if you would want to answer anything alternatively, you can please do. So let's start with Pearl.
Question is, my name is Pearl Anand and I study in class 7. In the Hush Academy program, I have learned that every book is written as these important elements like theme, a genre, setting of a book, characters, etc. Is it true for all kinds of books?
Is it for me, Paul?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right. So you have read it right, and whatever your academy is teaching you is perfect. All right. It is. It is on an average, moreover, same for all sort of books. Okay, so as the previous question said, it is like the fiction, non-fiction, and information. So darling, there's always a plot. Like for example, even if you're writing a diary writing, okay, on a daily basis, so your diary writing also has a plot. Okay, so your diary writing will gonna start with the date and the day. Okay, what you did, and then that did this, mama scolded me, I didn't read the newspaper today, etc, etc. So it's the same with books also. You should have a character in mind, you should have a plot in mind, you should know that what is the procedure and the follow up of that entire story. Okay, and of course if it is a story, there has to be climax and end towards it, whatever your story demands. Now, it differs from fiction to non-fiction to a murder mystery to everything else. But yes, you're right. It is for, on an average, all sorts of book. For example, when I said that I started with poetry, even poetry has a plot. It's a different type altogether. I'm not getting into that. But even poetry has a little flow, a rhythmic flow or a non-rhythmic flow. So yes, it is there.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you.
My name is Vidit and I study in class 5th. My question is, I like to read Harry Potter series. The theme is fantasy. Do authors always write in same themes always in which they write on?
Well, can I answer the question with it? The
Yes,
question
sir.
to me? Yeah.
Yes.
So with it, that's a very interesting question. Okay, I'm sure that you have been enjoying Harry Potter, right? It's a wonderful, wonderful series. And from the author's point of view, usually authors choose a particular type of stories, a particular genre, just to make a particular space for themselves, just to make themselves successful. Because people tend to expect them to write yet another book in the same type. For example, you have read Harry Potter, enjoyed it. Now, when you read another book by J.K. Rowling, you will expect her to write something similar, right? Exactly. So that expectation has to be met, right? In that particular area, authors usually tend to choose the same subject or same style of books. But some authors, like myself, choose to differ with each book. just to show that we are versatile, or just to, tell the world that there are different stories to be told. So different books can be of different styles. So authors choose it based on their perspectives, based on their expectations. Sometimes they just want to, make the reader very happy. Sometimes they want to disturb the reader a little bit. So it depends on what the author actually wants. So if you become an author someday, okay, try to understand what you want to do with the reader, right? If you want to make them actually very happy, or do you want to disturb them a little bit by writing a different book next time? So think about that, right? So different authors choose different styles with each book, but usually when you want to make the reader very happy, you actually choose the same style and write the next book in the same way. Yeah. I hope I answered the question with it. Did you get it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The kids are being very soft and gentle to both of you.
They're kind towards us, actually.
Yeah, they're actually kind towards us.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I think before we take the next question from Nandini and Krishna, here is one question that I have always wondered about. The life of an author. Here is my question to both of you. How is the life of an author? What is the life of an author? What goes in the day-to-day routine of an author?
You are taking it, Mr. Lam.
I'd say I'd like to take it first.
Yeah, please.
I can define the life of the author. You can define the life of the author with just one word. You know what that word is? Hard. It's going to be very hard, like super hard, actually. On the one hand, you have this constant bugging inside of you to keep on writing. Every day you have to write this many number of words, otherwise you feel depressed. And on the other hand, you will have probably your day job, or you have your family to take care of, and so many other responsibilities that you have. And your life is a constant struggle between these two ideas, these two demands, these two necessities. Your desire to write, and also your responsibilities towards the external world. So it's indeed hard in that sense. A writer's life is very hard, but still we enjoy it. That's the thing.
Right. So as you mentioned, hard, I'm completely agreeing with that. But putting again, like hard comes with like a lot of words into it, with synonyms and all. With me, it's a lot of juggle. It is a lot of juggle being a single mother and having a daughter in the house all the time, constantly bugging to my head for something or the other and something or the other. And life for me is super tough and super hard because it's everything from the home chores, from the house chores, to the cooking, to making her study, and then managing what I have in my mind. As he mentioned, it's like thousand thoughts that keep on flowing in your mind all the time, that okay, this needs to be written, this needs to be done, and you're not ready all the time with pen and paper or notes to write it down, that what's going in your head. It becomes so terrible at times, Khushbu, that seriously. But again, there's always a positive side, and Mr. Lal also said that's author's life. And because we need to write and we need to portray something out of the world, and for me it's my passion also. So I don't know about others, but it's like for me, I'm sure Mr. Lal would agree, for me it's a passion to the core. So when it is your passion, I have to juggle full-time hard for my writings, and I need to find my solace and peace time to write, because when your kid is hovering on your head all the time and asking 10 questions, and a 12-year-old kid is a curious kid, like all these beautiful kids to whom we are talking to, it is a tough job. And that's how I manage, and that's how so it's hard, but it's beautiful. So again, on that,
I'd like to add a point here. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Khushbu ji, there is something that I'd like to add. Shiviji also said that she also attested to the fact that writer's life is hard and tough. But there is one positive note regarding that. Often it is from this toughness, from this hardships that we derive our topics, derive our themes, and often these hard elements in life, bless us with themes to write about, So internally, we somehow wish for this kind of this thing,
Yeah, maybe our inner soul actually wish for it, because when we go to hard times and tough times and we are juggling and hustling for all these things, the non-fiction or fiction or whatever I write in poetry also, that comes from this only. So I think that's common for, I think, authors, and that's how we connect with our life and pen it down. Because, Khushbu, even I feel that the more real are you, it connects you more.
Yeah.
The more real it is, it connects to the audience and the readers more. So it's always like that, I think. Yeah.
And also, is
I'm
there
also excuse me.
Yes, Nandini.
I also wanted to say something. You see, I also write books and I also have to take care of my family. So yeah, being an author really is difficult. And so when I was a child, I always wanted to be an author. Now I finally am. And well, it's difficult as you said. So I'd like to add the point that even though being an author requires a lot of responsibility. For example, one time you don't have pages available. You could think out with creativity. I just understood that myself because my mom taught me that always keep your creative side open to other things.
Yes.
Nandini, wonderful. Wonderful point you made.
Nandini, wonderful, beta. And Nandini, I would like to thank your mom to teach you this. And wonderful to have your mother like that, because I always believe in that creativity. That's what I mentioned. The more real are you, the more pure you are in your writings. I always believe. So don't let your creativity go, and may God bless you for more and more books to come on your side. Yeah, it's wonderful. Wonderful.
What type of books do you write, Nandini? Excuse me. Just one question to Nandini, actually. What type of books do you write?
I like Percy Jackson and I like Sherlock Holmes.
No, your writing. I'm asking about your writing.
Oh, my writing?
Right. Yeah, he's asking. Yeah.
Well, lately I've written only some books because I've just started being an author.
Yeah. Are there stories?
The monkey, the colorful turban. Actually, the monkey who cannot jump.
Okay.
It's about
the
a monkey who cannot jump, and it's basically about a monkey with a colorful turban. And he's Punjabi, of course, because of the turban. And then there's some bully monkeys that keep bullying him. And he's in love with a monkey, Champakali. But Champakali is like, oh, no. He can't even have fun. So he goes to some guy named Old Wise Orangutan. And then he asks him for help. So Old Wise Orangutan thinks. And then he tells the monkey to basically...
You're disclosing the climax.
I was just
that's right.
stop for you. Always remember, you tell your book's description and you inform your readers about what your book is, but you're not supposed to disclose the climax, because if climax is out, your readers are gone. Right? All right. Great. So will we...
that was wonderful. Wonderful, Nandini. Superb. Nice story. I was actually, so eager to know what happened next. So, wonderful storytelling, beautifully narrated.
She has created the curiosity about the book already.
Absolutely, already. And how old is she?
I think 9 years, right?
9?
No, I'm 10.
10 years? Oh, big girl.
Big girl.
Yeah, big girl.
Nandini, way to go.
So the next question will be taken by Nandini first and then by Krishna. Nandini, you can ask your question now.
Okay. So the question I wanted to ask is, well, let's say that when you wrote your book, did you ever just imagine the character animated in the book? Did you ever imagine the character actually? So, for example, Miss Shri, like you had written that weeds book, some weeds equals versus thingy, and in that, were you really imagining the weeds hugging the plants and staying together? Were you really imagining that, like in your head, animated?
Okay, can I take it now? Yes. So I understood your question, Nandini, and I'm glad that you put this question, because whenever I've gone about book signing and in any other event, and by the way, that was my first book. So I was a novice at that time. Yeah, that was the first one. My third is just out. So glad that you asked, because that's something which I really wanted to let the audience more and more know. So I would start by saying that it's a poetry book. All right. So when it is a poetry book, as I mentioned, characters at times doesn't play much role onto it. Okay, there's something which we call as metaphors and personification in literature. All right, there's something which is we called as idioms in literature, right? The similes part of it. So the poetry has a rhythm. It is a free flowing rhythm in your head. Coming to your question on weed. Now that word weed is in our minds always associated with some bad substance. Okay, but to the kids who are growing, they should know that it is not a bad substance. In the sense, it is an unwanted plant. It is not, so we associate it with bad substance, but if you learn botany, if you learn in science, you will understand that weed is something which in huge farmlands is a plant which is unwanted. All right, that rots the other crops, and and it needs to be pulled it out, and then your crop will gonna grow. So that's the explanation there. Now the title, it's love. You all would know that love is important in our lives. Yeah, smiles and happiness is important in our lives, and all the books and everything whatever we read, there's always a message of love and humanity. There's always a message of moral acts. I wanted to come up with a book to let the readers know that in love there is all shades. There is a bad shade, there is a good shade, there's a downside, there's a happy side. So I associated that bad side with a weed plant, which is unwanted. So in our lives, sadness, depression, bad talks, gossiping, doing bad actions, bad deeds, it's not needed. In our lives, you need to be kind, compassionate, helping to others, always be true to ourselves, don't cheat. That is why I used a metaphor out here, which is weed. So there was no per se character Nandini in my head, but there was an emotion in my head. So I wanted that emotion to come out in all shades and forms of love. Okay, is that like, was I able to answer your question?
Yes, you were.
To a budding author? Yeah, cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So now,
your question will be for Anu sir, okay?
My name is Krishna and I study in class 8. My question is, before being in the reading journey at the history, I didn't enjoy reading books. But when we read as a group in our classes and discuss the books, I started to love reading books. Were you like that too as a kid?
Hi, Krishna. Thank you for that wonderful question. I think every one of us go through similar situation in our life, similar phase in our life, when our parents and everybody else tell us something to do, and we don't in particular like doing it. For example, reading books. But when I was a kid, when I was a little kid, even before I knew how to read or write, I loved stories. So because I didn't, know how to read, I used to pester my family force my family to read me stories, So my parents were tired of reading me stories all the time. My relatives were tired. My neighbors were tired of reading me stories. Finally, they told me one thing, especially my parents told me this. You have to, first of all, learn how to read so that you can read stories on your own, And so because of my love for stories, at a very early age, I was eager to get all the storybooks and comics and all that and read them. So reading was not exactly a bad thing for me. I loved reading. I loved books. And even now, I have a considerably big home library because I collect books whenever I can, from wherever I can. And I love books. If you give me a book, and probably if you give me a choice to choose between a book and a movie, I'd like to choose a book. Or a book and a day's meal, I'd like to skip the meal and take the book. So that's who I am. So I love the books. So that was a little different for me. I was not like I didn't like to read books. I loved books. So
For answering.
different. Yeah.
Just to add to Krishna's question there, Anu, I think that will be a great inspiration for all the kids to know. Since you said that even as a kid, your inclination was always towards book, and I am assuming that it might be the case for a lot of people, for a lot of authors who find their way into reading. How many books as a kid did you used to read in, let's say, a month or in a year or 1 year?
Well, mostly I was a slow reader when I was a kid, and my greatest reading period, or the most number of books that I used to read, was during the vacation time, summer vacation and all. And I'm from Kerala, so we have 2 months of summer vacation, summer holidays. So during those 2 months, when I was a little kid, I used to read maybe about 3 to 4 books, which means, in the period of 2 months, back to back. I'd be binge reading, getting all the books together and binge reading. Yeah, doing nothing else, not going out, not doing anything else. And my family would be mad at me. What are you doing? Not going out. And I said, I'm busy reading. That's basically how I grew up. And even now, wherever I go, instead of a phone, I'd like to keep a book with me, and I'd like to spend time with books. So I think that's very important if you want to spend your life as a writer. You have to read a lot. Yeah.
And Shivi, the same question to you too.
Right. So I think he already answered much, because I think it's the same journey for me, as he mentioned. Binge watching, a big no. Binge reading is a big yes. I was a kid, I remember, and my dad used to, actually he was the one who inculcated reading in me, and he used to say that, you need to start reading newspaper, beta. And at a point, what kids also asked, I was a bit reluctant to read because I was great in putting stories and making up stories and, traveling. And I'm a solo traveler as well, and I write travelogues. So my journey started of reading with travel more. I was not into the fiction. So I'm always fascinated with real people in real life, how they're living, what are they wearing, what are they eating, in which part of world they are reading, which language they speak, and all that. So my stories and reading started from there. Then I started writing. So the collection of books, then the diaries, and I'm fond of diaries because I write journals. I write gratitude journals. I write a lot of diary writing, blog writing. So since then, that writing started, and then the reading started apparently together. And with me, yes, as he also mentioned, since kid, I was like that. So don't go to the movie, read a book, sitting in a jungle between, read a book, going to a friend's place, and my friends were like, how boring you are, you're always into reading and all. I said, no, I enjoy life. I'm a happy person. But then I love reading. That's my love, and kids, to everyone who is listening right now, thanks, Kushbu. This question was asked because I was looking for this question. Beta, start reading. Even if you don't like reading, a bit, one paragraph, whatever you love. You love science, you love fiction, you love Bollywood, you love music, you love any topic. Start reading, bache. Reading is very important. So with me also, it started that way, and now wherever I go, there's a chunk of bookshelves and books in my house. My mom and my daughter is always that, Mama, we won't be having a place to put our clothes now. This much books you have, the almiras and the wardrobes and the everything is filled with books and diaries, mom, and pens, because I'm an artist also. I sketch, so a lot of pens and everything. And she's like, where would we keep the clothes now? I said, I don't know. That's my love and my life right now.
Visit your place.
Yeah, please welcome everyone, or anytime. There are a lot of fun reading.
Amazing. Okay. So kids, we will take the next two questions. The next two questions will be by Parichy and Rhythm. Parichy, you can start asking your question. Your question will be for Shivina, and then Rhythm, yours will be for Anuja. Okay.
Hello, sir and ma'am. My name is Parichy Pandey. I study in class 4th. My question is for both of you. My question is, along with reading books, I also love to do playing cricket. Which is your most favorite hobby apart from writing and reading?
Okay, Parichay, I'll take it. Can I take this?
Sure,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. So, darling, as I just mentioned about traveling, so apart from writing and reading, I am a go-getter person. I'm a person who has always believed into adjusting yourself to the situations. And that has come to me while traveling. So I love traveling. I love to travel to places where nobody has traveled and write about it. Eventually, I end up writing only. So my hobby is traveling and sketching and painting, because I'm an artist also. So that's my hobby.
That's very nice, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can I answer that question, Parichay, now?
Yes, sir, sure.
Shivi ma'am pointed out one very important factor earlier. She mentioned that she loved to travel as a kid also. So this is something that you also need to remember, that whatever your passion is, you have to follow. And your reading should come along with the passion, not against it. So if you love to travel and your reading habits are also like travelogues and travel related materials, then in the future, definitely you'll be able to produce some amazing content based in that particular area, right? That's very important. That's one thing. And second thing about my hobby, well, I love to interact with people, talk to people like you. That's my hobby, actually. And I'm also a teacher, so I get that hobby fulfilled when I go to my job. I go to my job, I talk to the kids, and I feel happy. Writing and reading, as you said, is part of my job. So it's like I do that all the time, and I try to do that, struggle to do that sometimes. Still, apart from that, this is something that makes me happy, meeting kids, talking to them. So this meeting is making me very happy, actually. Thank you so much for being here also.
That's very nice, sir.
Yes.
Parichay, would you want to share yours? One hobby of yours besides reading?
Sure, ma'am. So, and ma'am, apart from reading and writing, first my hobby is to play cricket, and second, I love to play tabla also, because my father told me that like tabla is a very good exercise that to do our freshes our mind.
Very good. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
So you're a musician also, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What a
Okay.
wonderful piece of advice from your parents. Wonderful. Very nice, Parichay.
Yeah,
Don't leave it, huh? Please.
true.
Don't leave playing tabla and just go, keep on going to the next level, okay? Yeah,
Okay, ma'am.
promise? Cool. Yeah.
Promise.
Awesome.
Hello, sir and ma'am. My name is Radham. I'm a student of class 5. And my question is, like during our reading program, we all created beautiful reading corners where we kept all our books and we read there. So, do you also have a dedicated place where you read or write?
Okay. Mr. Lal, you take it first. I'll answer.
Okay, fine. I'll
Yeah.
take it first. Yeah, Rhythm. I usually have a place where I write. There is a specific place where I sit and write. But I also write outside. Also, whenever I'm traveling, when I get some sudden inspiration, I do write. But I do have a special place where I come back, sit down, and I finally write everything down. And for reading, definitely at my home, I'm comfortable. But as I said in the beginning, when I'm traveling, when I'm going outside, waiting for a bus or traveling in train, or whenever I get time, when I'm at some other places, visiting some other person, I try to read. So for me, basically, I love to be at home in my room reading the book. But whenever I get time, I tend to read, because in life, when you grow older, when you have more responsibilities with them, you tend to snatch whatever little bit of time that you get to spend time with books and your passion as a writer. Otherwise, you can't do it. So just don't bother too much about the place. Whenever you get the time, snatch it. That's my policy. But again, as I said, I love to come back to my home and come back to that specific place where I sit and work. That's my love, but often we have to snatch the little, few minutes that we get. So Rhythm, be careful when you grow up. You are not going to get a lot of time for reading and writing. So make use of it. Make use of the time that you get. Shiviji.
Nice, that's great.
All right. So, Rhythm, first of all, you have a beautiful name, beta. Such a beautiful name you have, Rhythm, because
Thank
in
you,
my
ma'am.
I always use that rhythm. So that rhythm connects to me. So it's a beautiful name of yours. And stretching my answer to the question from the last line, which Sir has mentioned, is snatch the time. That's the keyword out here. So, starting my answer to my writing space, I have a dedicated writing space, all right, because writing for me, as I mentioned, is a passion, my work, and my worship. So, I have a dedicated small space in my house where I sit. If it's in the 4 a.m. in the morning, it's night, evening, wherever I sit there and I write. So I'm comfortable there, as the likely with the same with the sir as well. Reading, I can do reading anywhere. Traveling, I am traveling majorly most of the times. I can read anywhere. So I have a Kindle device or I have a book. So although I love paperbacks, I love to hold a book and read, honestly. I know it's a digital era and it's a time of audiobooks and a lot of other types of formats are coming. I still am old school, maybe. So I love the book in my hand and I sit and I read. Yeah. The only thing is while driving, I don't. But if I'm sitting, like I'm traveling in a hotel, I snatch the time, as he said. I'm traveling, sitting, I have a cafes, I'm having my coffee. And so for me, yeah, some noises at times if I'm reading a particular genre, which is my favorite. So I need a little peace around. That's a practical thing. And I get distracted with the different noises around and I'm not able to focus on my reading. So again, reading and writing, I have a small space. A piece of advice on that is, as he said, snatch the time. Now as we grow older, okay, we have a set of responsibilities, so we don't get much of time to read, and I sometimes really lack it. Mr. Al, I'm 100% in agreement with that. I feel I'm dying when I don't read today, trust me. So snatch the time, beta, and don't bother about ये घर नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं जगह है. You know, we don't have this, we don't have a laptop, we don't have, no. Whatever beautiful space you have, big, small, make it a very beautiful space and throw some positive vibes and start reading and writing. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
I think, Shrivi, when you said that I'm pretty old school in that, I completely was with you there. The feeling of reading a book, getting a new book, smelling it, everything is so addicting that it just can't be taken over by any other means. I have a question in that.
Okay.
So a lot of times when we try to develop this habit of reading in children, we have always advocated that it should be done with actual books. We as grown-ups may read or may hear an audiobook because we've already been through reading the actual books. But for kids, it's very important that they actually have the physical books with them, wherein they can just go back, come again, move chapters, highlight something. It's so very important. But a lot of times, parents also wish that when there is an easy way to know whatever is written in that book, through just maybe going through the summary of that book, which is readily available now, or either just doing your work and having the earplugs and hearing the audiobook of the same. It is often said, do we really need to read books? Or do the kids really need to? A lot of times we hear this question. While we know the answer ourselves, what is your take on that? Anu?
Okay, so I'll take it one by one, Khushbu. So I was with you again, and we all three, I think, here because he also raised his hand. And paperbacks are always a physical book in hand is always great to have. Coming to the kids now, it is a very generalized question, you know, because even I'm asked this a lot of times when I life coach kids and I talk to them that what do you prefer? My kid read Kindle more than hard books now. Okay. When she started reading, okay, she used to read the children books, Ruskin Bond, Harry Potter, physical books. Now she's into audio, she's into Kindle. So things are changing. But at the end, eventually, real reading is with the paper. Real reading is on the hard book, I feel. Apparently, a little contradictory statement here on my take is that if in case we are here to inculcate a habit of reading in kids, and if every kid is different, every mind is different, every human is different, and if that particular kid is not comfortable as of now with reading books or a paper or a paperback, we can introduce a new digital form or an audiobook to the kid, and later on slowly we can read with them and understand, like Mr. Lal mentioned, that you know parents or family members used to read for him, you know. So that's how the kid's brain get conditioned that okay, this is being read, this is not being heard, you know. So listening skills is getting accustomed, we are getting accustomed with the listening skills. But I think that I feel that reading a paperback with a kid is always important. And that particular habit needs to be developed somehow or the other, even if the kid is different. This will gonna help in further studies also. No matter we are going towards AI age, we are doing whatever, but then I think that will gonna help. That's my take. I mean, I can be a little off track here, but I feel books and magazines and papers, reading is always important. Am I audible or my video is?
Your video is
Yeah,
off.
you're audible. Yeah.
Hello?
You are audible.
I have another.
Hello?
I'd like to add a point here to Shaiviji's ideas. I believe that reading actually
Am I
helps to.
audible, Khushbu?
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You are audible. I think
So
there's
yeah.
internet issue because your video seems to be paused, but otherwise,
Yeah. So I think to add a point to Shiviji's ideas, reading a paperback, I think, flexes a few more muscles in our brain compared to listening to an audiobook. But as she
I
said, as the
think
time
the
is
video
changing,
has
times
some
are changing.
problem.
In the changing times, because we have new options these days. If the kid is going towards an audiobook or a Kindle, I think it is better for them to just have a taste at it, get introduced to the idea of books and stories. After all, it is not the form that is important, but what is in it. Why are we in the business of books? Not because of the paper or the glue or the ink. We are here because of the stories that are told on the paper using the ink with the help of that binded book. And personally, I believe, because I'm a fiction writer, I'm a storyteller, I believe that paperback books can be magical in telling stories. They can create a different impact on the reader when you are telling a story. When a reader is reading a paperback, the effect is different, as opposed to when you're reading a Kindle or an audiobook. That's one thing. And the other is, if the kid is enjoying audio or Kindle, I think it is better for some time to let them get accustomed to stories, narratives, language in general, ideas in general, and then gradually introduce them to the beauty of printed books. Because even if they say that in printed books you are going to cut a lot of trees, we have to actually like plant new trees only for making books, because paperback books are, or hardcover printed books are indeed an important part of human civilization. And we have to keep them safe. We have to use them. We have to teach our children to use them. And along with the narration, along with the story that we get from a paperback book, as Shiviji pointed out, and as you, Pushpuji, pointed out, the smell, the feel, everything is a cultural memory for all of us. It's part of who we are. Like, it's part of who we are. And just imagine Gita or Bible or Quran in your Kindle as opposed to a paperback. Which one would you consider more holy or superior? Obviously, the printed one, right?
Yeah, the printed one.
Yeah, so obviously, so that has some connection with our subconscious, I believe. So
Actually, actually, Mr. Anurag, I would prefer paperback.
yeah. That's
So
one thing.
I actually lost the connection. So am I audible again? I don't know, somehow something.
You're audible.
You're
Yeah.
audible. That's why you're not.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, so I would just wanted to mention that thing one which Mr. Lal also said about the forest and the paper thing. That's very important. Glad that you actually mentioned it. I was just about to, and the video just got off. So the future readers and the authors whom we are interacting right now, it's very important that you make sure that you plant 100 trees wherever, whenever it is possible, because of course the feel of the paperback and the printed versions of the books, as the holy books as he mentioned, is always cream to read. So make sure for that papers you plant more trees and become sustainable. That's a practice which every kid needs to, and not only kid, we and everyone needs to do it. Yeah.
And just a pointer for all the kids, when you read any book, fiction, non-fiction, it mainly goes for non-fiction books, whichever line that you find absolutely magical, highlight it. A lot of times when I pick up a book which I have read like maybe many years ago, and I see what are the lines that I highlighted at that particular time, those also make me very strange, very beautiful memories. That okay, this was the line which made me feel very important at the time. So kids, when you read books, maybe you can try this habit of highlighting in some manner, just underline that particular bit which you really would love to go back to every time that you pick that book. It's not very easy to go through the entire book again and again, which I think you should sometimes, but then there are some books which shouldn't just be read, they should be chewed again and again and again. And these can be the lines which you can go back again and again to.
True. And I'd like to add one thing that I remember reading somewhere. I think it was in Richard Bach's novel One, in which he talks about finding a solution to every problem. He says that he'll go into a bookstore or a library and take a random book and open it randomly and finds a line which he thinks would be a solution to one of his present problems. So I think that's a funny way to actually, give us some peace of mind or some solution.
Yeah.
So books
Yeah,
can
that's-
help us in a magical way. You'll never know how a book can help you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And any genre for that matter.
Any
Absolutely. I
genre.
agree.
Any
Even
genre.
that is why kids, as Khushbu ma'am said, as Anulal sir said, that, read everything. Try to read everything.
Yeah.
You like fiction, but at least give a hand on non-fiction. You like non-fiction, give it a try for one fiction. So you never know what can strike your mind and how your mind will gonna be conditioned. So keep reading everything that comes to you.
And there is a new book by Ruskin Bond called How to Become a Writer or something, published by
Yes.
Penguin.
Yeah, yes.
I
It's
hope the
on
kids have read it. It's actually meant for kids,
Okay.
especially the kids like we have here, our little one.
Wonderful. We'll
Yeah.
definitely make them read that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next set of questions, I think Ojaswini and Bhavyanshi have been waiting for very long to ask their questions. Okay, Ojaswini and Bhavyanshi. Ojaswini, your question will be for Anu sir, and Bhavyanshi, yours will be for Shivi. Okay? Yes, both of you can ask your question. Ojaswini, you go first.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. My name is Parichy Pandey, and I study in class 3rd. My question is, in our Hush Academy, we have learned that every author has an unequal writing style. What is yours?
Ojaswini, that's a wonderful question and a very important one. Very important question. I think Shiviji would also like to answer this one. Let me first of all give you an idea about this particular question that you asked, style of the author, right? And it's right, you have learned it right. Actually, every author will have a style, but it doesn't really come naturally. Nobody realizes what their natural writing style is. Every person may have a natural tendency to be writers or painters or artists or sportsmen. That is natural, but we won't realize it until we are given proper training, right? So we have to train ourselves to understand what our strength is, what our weakness is, and then we create our own writing style based on our strength and weakness. That's how we do it. And all of us have obviously strengths and weaknesses, right? Right, Ojaswini, everyone has strength and weakness, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we create a writing style based on our strength and our weakness in language and also in the way we think. So these are two things that you have to remember. One is language, how we use words, etc. What type of words we use, and then how we think. What ideas do I think about? These are the two factors that help us create a unique style, right? And we can, when you grow up, when you read a lot of books, you will realize that you can actually, play with your writing style. You can actually create a new style or, just modify it a little bit so that readers will love it. Readers will love it even more when you just play with your writing style. So read a lot, and then you will realize that you will have certain strengths and weaknesses, and then you will realize that you can use your language to create a particular style based on your ideas, right? So yeah, Shiviji,
Yeah,
your
just
ideas.
one continuation to it, beta. Everything sir has mentioned, and you need to stick to it, and it's beautifully answered. One thing is, there are Indian born authors native to India, okay, but they're known for their British writing, for example. Okay, there are some foreign native authors, they are known for their Indian style of writing. You write in Hindi, you write in any regional language, you write in English, you write in whichever language you want. It's not always necessary that you stick to one style writing. As Sir also mentioned, authors experiment. Okay. But of course, the kind of formal training and it comes with experience. Just to end up quickly, when I read my first book, right, and when I read my next, then I read my next, and I feel like, oh, okay, this improvement needs to be done. This wasn't falling perfect. So it is always a trial and error, experimental thing, and learning. So just keep that pace going, and I think rest Sir has already mentioned about that. So that's all.
Wow. Thank you, sir and ma'am, for answering my question.
Thank you, Ajaswini, for putting this
Thank you.
question.
Bhavyanshi, your question now. That will be for Shivi ma'am. Okay. We're trying to just keep one question to one author because of the limited time. Otherwise, we would have loved to have answers from both of you for every question. But because we have 25 kids, that's why the time is a little limited. But otherwise, yes, Bhavyanshi. Your question will go to Shivi ma'am. Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Bhavya Pundir. I study in class 6. My question is, I love stories, but I love even more is story books. But where I live in Chapuri, books take a long time to reach my place. That makes me upset. Did you face such problems when you were a kid?
Okay, can you repeat the second line again, beta? You like storybooks and you love to read stories, you said. But when you start reading, what did you mention? You?
But where I live in Chamoli, books take a long time to reach my place.
Okay, reach your place, you're saying, right? Okay, so and then what's the next line? I couldn't hear you. What's the question then?
You face such problems when you were a kid?
Okay, I got your question. Yeah. Yeah, she's asking that, okay, the distance matters, right? She's lives in Chamoli and the books take time to come to my place. Is that what she's asking?
Yeah, she lives in a very remote Uttarakhand location. So books take a long time to reach and that upsets her a lot.
Okay, so Bhavanshi, I got it. I faced it. So I am all set to answer this. When I was a kid, there was no internet. Yes, I mean, I'm a little old, okay? Internet as in my dad used to use that pager device. So there was no internet. There was nothing such as called as laptops and search engine and Google. So we just need to go to the library for reading. Okay, and then when that's what is importance of library is. And whenever I used to, so they were not like crosswords or a bookstore nearby on every hook and corner, but I was fond of reading. So what I used to do, I used to go to the library, I used to keep asking my teachers about the books and all. They used to give me the name that, you know, this you need to read, like your teachers would tell you, right? They read this book, this is good for you. So I used to write it down. I used to tell my papa that, you know, papa, I need that book. And we didn't have a lot of money also at that time to you know, so dad used to say that, okay, I cannot get you two right now, I'll get one for you right now. So I have faced this, beta, trust me, with a lot of odds. And after 15 days and 10 days and sometimes 20 days, I used to get that one book. And then sometimes you used to tell me, no, on your birthday, I promise I'll give you two books. So I used to wait for them long time. I just don't remember being a kid of like fifth and sixth grade. I right now don't recall that how my papa used to do the courier and all that stuff. But now I know the stories. But it hampers, it little, you know, upsets us that, you know, we love to read books. But trust me, kids, to all of you, in the world where you are living, nothing is impossible today. There was a time, what I have seen, sir might have seen, I don't know much about that, but today everything is possible, beta. You live in a small village, you live in a big city, The pandemic also has made us learn a lot of things. Don't make yourself upset with that. Wait for it. So when you wait for your favorite thing, when it gets into the hand, the pleasure is more. And a big smile comes from your heart. So wait for it. Don't get upset. You have ample options. I'll send you books frequently. Okay, I'll take the address of yours, and whichever book you want, I'll send you the books frequently, every week, every 10 days. Don't get yourself upset for that. Okay, keep the pace up. Okay, don't feel sad. Don't leave reading. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
you're welcome, beta.
That was really nice. And I'm sure Bhavyanshi, although she's looking shy and quiet from,
Yeah, little.
but she's feeling super happy inside.
I hope I've answered. I mean, if she's happy about it, I mean, I hope I've answered. Yeah.
Bhavyanshi, happy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next set of questions will be asked by Mannat, Pavni, and Divya. So, Mannat, your question will be for Anu sir. Pavni, your question will be for Shivi ma'am, and Divyam, yours will be for Anu sir again. Okay? Mannat, you can start.
My name is Manat Arora and I'm studying class 8. And my question is that can you suggest a few ideas to make our reading corners more beautiful?
Mannat, that was a beautiful question because that shows how much you love books and reading. I have a few suggestions regarding how to make your reading corner really beautiful. Number one, you have to keep with yourself a few pieces of papers which may be colorful, which may not be colorful, just white papers, but pieces. And use those pieces of papers to write down the important or unknown words when you come across them. If you do not know the meaning of a particular word, write it down in that paper, right? And if you find or if you come across a beautiful sentence, for example, write it down. So use these beautiful pieces of papers to write down these unknown words, new sentences, and these will go up on the wall, after a week or after a month. That will be like a beautiful design on the corner in the future, but that'll also show the new words, the new ideas, and the new sentences that you came across, right? So it's a gradual process. Every day you will come across a new word. Every day you will come across a new sentence while reading. That'll go on the wall in that small piece of paper, colorful or maybe white, depending on the design of your reading corner. All right, that's one suggestion that I have. And then fill your reading corner with books. That's the next suggestion, because that'll make you feel really happy, and excited. Simply by sitting in a place full of books transforms a person's mindset. That's something that I've experienced in my life. And Shiviji has pointed out, like her, I myself lived through an era where there was no internet. When I was a kid, there was nothing called internet, and we used to make use of libraries, as she pointed out. So the thing is, you also have to struggle a little bit to make your reading corners beautiful. It comes from inside of you, right? So these are the few points that I'd like to suggest. I hope I answered. Mannat? Mannat, are you there?
Sir? Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pavni, you go next.
Ma'am, my name is Pavni Arora, and my question is that we all have a reading corner where we invest most beautiful hour of our life reading and writing. What is the thing in your reading corner that attract you to read more, write more?
What is that good thing, right? Which attract me? Yeah.
Favorite
thing.
Yes,
Favorite thing. Okay. So it's very simple question and very straightforward. My favorite thing in my reading book corner is books. So it's very straight. I mean, my most favorite thing is books only. So my reading corner is filled with books. As I mentioned earlier in the questions also, too many books. And my favorite is also books only. Very beautiful thing which sir also mentioned to Mannat right now, I think. is that keeping the books at your reading corner gives you that vibes. That energy comes automatically from the books. I don't know, it may be quite early for you guys to understand that, but start practicing and believing in us, and please trusting in us and the teachers and parents, that keep books around you. Books always throw a positive vibe. So my favorite thing is books, and whenever I see them, I feel knowledge, I feel learning, I feel curiosity. What is there in them? So it or my mind have 10 different thoughts when I see a book only, without reading it. So that
Exactly.
intrigues me, and that's my favorite thing all time.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Divyam, now your question.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. My name is Divyam Kanwal and I study in class 8th. My question is I have started to write stories as a part of my reading journey at the history. What are the three things you feel that make a story good and that I should always remember in my story?
Divyam, so are you asking about your writing stories or reading stories?
Can you please repeat?
Could you please repeat your question, because I wasn't clear.
Okay, sir. My question is I have started to write stories as a part of my reading journey at the history. What are the three things that you feel that make a story good and that I should always remember in my story?
Well, the three things that make a story good. Well, the first thing is that the story should be honest. Right? You shouldn't try to cheat the reader. It should be honest. You should be telling a real, honest story. Even if it's a fantasy, there should be a logic in it. You should have some investment in it, some imagination, some work done. Okay, that's one. Second thing that makes a story beautiful is characters and their struggle. Okay, create characters who struggle a lot. Don't write about characters always who are always happy and always have nothing to do, because a story doesn't work like that. The story actually means the story of a character's problems and how they solve their problems, or how they are unable to solve their problems. This is what a story should always be about. Because as human beings, we want to learn from reading these stories how to solve problems in life, right? That's why we read. That's why we read. So we need to learn something from it. So as a writer, this is something you should remember. You should always try to figure out how to solve problems for your characters. That will make a really good story. And the final thing that makes a story really good is how you keep the reader's interest. Right? It's from the reader's perspective. You have to think from the point of view of the reader. Keep their interest until the end of the story. Don't get them bored. Don't just teach them everything in the beginning or tell them everything. Don't tell them everything in the beginning. Just relax, go relaxed, and only reveal the secret of the story at the end of it. Keep the suspense going. These are the three major things that you have to remember when you are reading a good story. It will be in it. When you are writing a story in the future, remember this. These are the 3 points, right? Remember these 3 points. Very important points. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for answering my question.
Thank you so much for asking such a beautiful question, Divyam. Wonderful question.
The next questions will be by Vishesh, Rishit. Vishesh, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Just a second, Vishesh. Yes, Vishesh. Your question will be for Shivi ma'am. Rishit, your question will be for Anu sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, but actually I wanted to ask Anu sir that question.
Okay.
Okay, so answer the question. Yeah.
Then
Please.
Rishit, your question will be for Shivi ma'am. Perfect.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. My name is Vishesh Avasthi. I study in class 5. My question is as a part of my reading journey at the Hush Tree, we get 3 books delivered to us, which we read and then share with our classmates. Every time my book got delivered to my home, my younger brother also would get super excited about it. And seeing these books, he has also started to feel excited about reading books. Did you influence others in your family in reading or writing?
So the question was to me, right, Vishesh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the answer is yes, obviously. I have always pestered my sister. I have a younger sister to read books, and also my parents. When my parents were celebrating, I think it was their 50th birthday, my father's 50th birthday, I think. I bought him a book as a present, and I wanted him to read it. And he was like, "What exactly are you doing? Why are you giving me this book as a gift? Give me something else." And I was like, "No, you have to read it," because it was a book about getting. It was a book by Deepak Chopra, and Timeless Body, Ageless Mind. And I was like making a point to him, right? You are super cool, and so yeah, I ask all of my family members to read. Even my little nephew Ryan, he's 6 years old now. I read him stories now, but I always try to buy him new books, even though he doesn't really read them right now at this stage. You know, so I buy him books, and I ask him to read them. So yes, yes, I always ask my family members, my friends, my even my students to read books. Yeah.
And sir, my another question.
Ashish, we will take one question first, okay?
Okay,
If
ma'am.
the time allows later, then we will have another question also. But now let's go to Rishit. Rishit, yes, your question to Shivi.
Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, beta.
Hi, Rishit.
My name is Rishit Sahani and I studies in class 7. My question is, whenever I read a book, I fell into the world of that book. And slowly I start imagining that everything that is happening in the book is happening with me too. Like in The Alchemist, I can understand and imagine the feelings of Santiago. And I was super motivated to do great things. But the next morning I wake up, I was the same Rishit. So does it happen with you too?
All right. I am so happy to answer this question, Rishit. I mean, amazing, amazing. Oh God, it is all the time with me. I don't know about what Anu Lal experience on this, but with
Yeah.
me, it's all the time. Uh, so yes, that answers the question that yes, it happens with me. But I would like to add a little bit to it. There are very different kind of books which we read, right? Some motivate us, some teaches us lessons, and when we actually deep dive into those, characters and imagination, like you said, Alchemist, Santiago. So like you wanted to become like a Santiago, like, and next day morning, like the dream is off. I'm back as Rishit. So I feel the same. Uh, Next time whenever it happens, no, Rishit, whenever you read a book, so try to get all the great what do we say, what do we call, qualities of that character in you. Okay, next
Yes.
time, now the next level of yours, you're in grade 7th, right? Now you're heading towards your teens. Okay, then you'll be growing as a big boy now. So what you next have to do is that when you read a next book and you get into that character of particular character which you like the most or whatever, you retain the quality in you, beta. Try to do that. So for example, someone is courageous, all right, so and next morning you feel, oh no, 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 I'm actually afraid of dark. I'm the Rishit, the same Rishit who was reading the book. I'm not the character. So next morning you're gonna ask or tell yourself that, hey, listen, I'm a courageous person, I'm no more afraid of dark. I'm just quoting an example, okay? So try to retain that quality in you. Books
Yeah,
have
I
a
will
lot
do
more to learn. So try that, and it happens with me all the time. I do the same, and I read, I learn, I read. And that's how
that. Yeah,
day by
ma'am.
day I'm trying to be better person. Okay?
Thank you.
I answered? Did I?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
The next question is by Taran. I think that's one of the last questions we have. Anmol, do you have your question ready? Anmol, if you are here, if you have your question ready, we will take the question from you after Taran is done. Taran, your question is,
Yes,
Taran,
ma'am.
you can ask your
Hi,
question.
my name is Taran Ramkumar. I study in class 7. I have a question to ask. If we don't understand something when we are reading, what should we do?
Okay. If
Is that
yeah. So you would like to take it? He's asking if you don't understand anything, what we should do, like while reading. So
yeah?
you
It's a
can, yeah,
very
you,
complex
yeah.
question actually.
Yeah.
So I think what I do, I'll tell you what I do because I don't have a solid answer or a general answer for this. I have a very personal experience regarding your question. Sometimes, as I said, I read a lot, but when I read, sometimes there are areas which I don't understand. There are sentences, there are ideas that I don't understand. And what I do then is, right now, I just Google it up. That's the first thing that I do. I just look for what other people have said about it, and what explanations are there for this particular idea, etc. That's the first thing that you can do these days. But before the internet, when I was a kid, I used to go to a dictionary, number one. That's the first thing that I used to do to learn the words, to understand the word. And then I went to, sometimes I went to teachers, when I felt that they can solve my problem, they can help me understand better. And on other occasions, I have felt this very strange network of books conspiring to teach us something. That's something that I felt personally. If you don't understand something from a particular book, and if you just keep it there for some time, the next book that you take to read quite accidentally will teach you something more about what you didn't understand before. It happens. It happens. Books can come to your life and teach you something that you do not know until that point. You call it magic, you call it synchronicity, you call it whatever you want. But this happens, believe me, okay? If you, for example, just a new word that you didn't know the meaning of, and then you couldn't find the meaning in the dictionary also. Imagine, just this is an example. The same thing will come up in the next book when you are going to read another book, random book. Take a random book next time. The idea will come up again. You will find the same word again in the next book also. And you'll somehow understand the connection between these two ideas. So books actually have this strange network, which actually teaches a lot of things. So don't be afraid of what you do not know. That's the point that I'm making here. Don't be afraid of what you do not know in a particular book. Instead, feel free, feel courageous. Now you have Hush Tree, right? You can ask people in the Hush Tree about a particular idea, or just go to your school and ask your teachers, or just Google up certain ideas, or just wait, be patient. As Shiviji mentioned in an earlier answer, just be patient and wait for the answer to reveal itself to you. That happens. Answers come to you if you're curious, right? That's the point. Don't be afraid of what you do not know. I have seen a lot of kids facing this problem. They don't know something, they have a problem understanding something, they leave it in the middle. That's it. I don't want to do anything with it. So don't feel that way. Don't be afraid of what you don't know. If you are curious, if you really want to know, as in the Alchemist, Paulo Coelho says, if you have real desire, the whole universe conspires in helping you to achieve that desire. It is true for your desire to know something also, right? So yeah, that's my answer. I hope I answered it. Have I? You there?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Ishita, do you have your question ready? Ishita, the next question will be by you. I think we are just left with one or two more questions. Ishita, do you have a question? We can't hear you, Ishita.
Yeah.
I think there is a network problem.
Yeah, some network issue. That's one of the biggest disadvantage. One big
And one of the
disadvantage.
things that I felt was we didn't have hush tree when we were kids. Come on, Shiviji, right?
I think we're just trying to do what we, even all of us, the team who's working, when we were kids, whatever we wished that we had when we were kids, and what we are figuring out through our experiences now, we're just trying to give the experiences, the learnings, along with opportunities to kids. So even when we were designing the program on reading, the important thing was we need to get them motivated and excited. And that's why the idea about having events like these and another things, book discussions, just showing them pictures of different authors so that the recollection happens. All of those things came from what we would have loved.
Wow.
That's wonderful, Khushbu. That's wonderful. And that conditioning of mind is really important, as you mentioned, that recollection. So recalling it again and again, when you recall, when you visualize, when you see it again and again, you read it again and again, it directly goes into your nervous system. And that's how our body is made of memories. And with these young kids, they are so fragile, they are active, they are super smart, very important. And I think I really fell in love with the idea of what you guys are doing. Trust me, when I came to know about this. Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, coming Ishita.
Okay.
Can you unmute yourself, Ishita? Yeah, try speaking now.
No, we are not able to hear you, beta. There's some
Ishita, maybe the earphone, the earplug is not inserted properly. Can you try checking that? Or you could be on mute from the laptop. Okay, while she tries, I think Anmol, do you have a question? Okay, I think a couple of kids have got disconnected, but Rhythm and other kids, I'm sure a couple of you have more questions, but what we will do is we will bring it to an end. And if the time allows, after we can have these questions discussed with the two authors if they have time after we have completed everything. Okay, Rhythm? I think Rhythm has another question, but we'll still give it an end and then maybe take up the questions later. All right. So I think Ishita, can you try one more time? Say something, Ishita. No, nothing. Okay. So now I would like to invite Anumeha and Pearl to give a beautiful end to this interaction which we had with both the authors. I'm sure kids really got beautiful answers to some curious questions in their head, and that got them motivated to read even more. So Anumeha and Pearl, getting you in the now.
Can I just say something, Khushbu?
Yes, please. Yeah, definitely.
Ishita by face, I think, because this everything digital thing, it's very new for kids also during the pandemic, and she's looking a little low. You can ask her the question later on, and you can send it to me and Anural sir later. And I'm saying it right now. Please don't feel sad, kids. I got logged off. My video was paused. It happens. Okay, it happens all the time. Live streaming, questioning, it's fine. Okay, so just we are ready here. Hashti is here. They'll put their questions to us, and then we'll be able to answer yours. Don't worry.
Yes, Ishita.
I think again the
Don't
video
worry.
was yeah, correct. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, cool. Next, it's okay.
Okay, Anumeha.
Okay.
Yes.
I have to start, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. My name is Anumeha Chandola from class 5th. Thank you, ma'am and sir, for being so patient and answering our questions. We loved it so much. On that note, bring an end to this beautiful event. If you do have any suggestion or advice for us, so please share.
Mm, okay, so thank you, Anumeha, right? Darling, thank you so much for this. As I mentioned, I am excited. I was excited. I'm still excited because I know there's a lot of questions unanswered, and I'm looking forward from the history that you guys can connect with us anytime on personal level, and any sort of help needed, I am there. And I'm sure Anulal sir would be same like would be agreeing with me on the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the single piece of advice will be just don't leave reading. For a different kid, for one it can be boring, for another it can be exciting, for another it can be forceful, but then parents and teachers just force you or ask you to read because they know the importance of it better. So just try to listen to them, inculcate reading on a smaller notes. If a child is not reading, Hashri is doing a wonderful job. Listen to your teachers and follow your heart and keep smiling. I love kids, kids smile is infectious and it is beautiful. So just be happy. That's the piece of advice. Do well in studies. Whatever you are, you're beautiful. Always remember that. That's the only advice I can give right now to people.
Yeah. And don't worry. That's something that I'd like to add. Whatever happens, just don't worry, okay? You will have the time to solve all your problems. Do not worry, because worry doesn't help you solve anything. So whether it's about the internet connection or whether it's about books not reaching you in time, do not worry, okay? Keep on reading your books, get lost in the world of books, and be happy. That's it. That's it.
Pearl?
And I study in class 7. In the end, I want to say a few lines on books. मेरी जिंदगी का खूबसूरत सा हिस्सा यह किताब है, इससे दोस्ती बेहिसाब है, देखा जो मैंने ख्वाब है, पूरा करती यह किताब है, आए जो सवाल मेरे मन में जवाब देती यह किताब है, छोड़ जाते हैं लोग अक्सर साथ रहती यह किताब है, मेरी जिंदगी का हिस्सा थी पहले, अब मेरी जिंदगी ही एक किताब है. Thank you.
Amazing.
Well,
Wonderful.
it is wonderful. I mean, Anulal sir would agree. No better end to this, right?
Absolutely.
Wow. It is so touching. It is so beautiful, beta. Wow. Touch my heart. Very beautiful.
And now, one last time, I'll get all the kids in together. Instead of keeping spotlights on a few of us, let's all of us be together and then say a big thank you to both the authors' kids. It's the time to thank both of them for their amazing words to all of you. Okay, so I'm getting everyone in.
Okay. Great.
Kids, what do you have to say to Shivi ma'am and Anu sir? Loud.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am and sir.
Thank you, ma'am and sir.
Thank you, ma'am and sir. Thank you, ma'am
Thank you,
and
sir. Thank you, ma'am.
You are most welcome.
Yes. You are most welcome and always welcome. Anything for kids, we are here. And this message is loud and clear to Hashri and Khushbu and everyone. Thank you so much. And please get in touch again if these kids have any question after the box also. Trust me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please. Always there. Yeah.
I'd also like to thank Hashri for this initiative.
Thank you.
How much kids would love and benefit from interactions like this is amazing, because for people like us, Shiviji, and for me,
Yes,
people who
yes.
are, as she said, old. we didn't have opportunities like this, right?
Yeah.
And
And seriously, Anulal sir, I mean, I was waiting for these opportunities. You are an educator, you're always
absolutely.
close to kids, and I am not an educator by profession and all. I always find this little piece of information that how can I talk to kids? How can I reach out, you know, and how can I speak to them and let the heart out? Thank you, Hashti. Thank you, Khushbu. You guys are wonderful. Yeah. Thank you.
Indeed. Wonderful job.
Keep doing
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for giving me and also, Shiviji. I'd like to say this from her part also. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to interact with this beautiful, beautiful bunch of kids. I pray from the bottom of my heart that all of them will be blessed with words, blessed with the power of language and imagination. May God bless them all.
Yeah, lots of love and light to everyone. And I'm glad to Hashri and to the kids that I've met another beautiful and amazing author, Anunal sir. Thank you. I mean, like meeting authors and people, I mean, thank you. Because if you guys have met one more wonderful author.
Indeed.
Thank
I was about to say that.
Yeah, thank you.
You
Thank
said
you.
it, yeah.
Stay in touch, kids. Lots of love and light. And thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anuji.
And children, one more thing. If you have any questions in the future, if you have anything to ask, you can find us online. If you want to send us emails, you can do that. Hashtri will give you our email IDs so that you can contact us on a personal level, and
Yes.
we will do our best to help you out. Okay.
Always, always, always. Just type our names and get the email ID. We are there for you. Trust me.
Yes.
Both of us. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you, bache log. Be happy. Keep smiling. Have a
And
happy
keep
Sunday.
reading. Keep
Keep
reading.
reading. Yeah. Bye.
On that note, I think I will stop the live now and put an end. But I think a couple of questions, one or two have a few more questions. Kids, we will take these questions after the live is over, right? If ma'am and sir has time. So now, say bye-bye one last time, everyone.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.